What do you like about running a no-huddle offense?
Forces the defense to line up. Obviously, there's some times there where you can kind of wear them down. I think you saw that a couple times in the game there late where we hit some things. And if you can force them to, play under a little bit of stress, the defense, and not regroup, it's a good deal.
Can it give you guys some momentum when you start playing well and moving the ball?
Oh, I think so.
Just able to get back to the line of scrimmage
I think
quickly?
so. Get back to the line of scrimmage, and I think our players have bought into that attacking mentality, and I think that's a good part of it.
Talk about the run game last week and what you thought about it, what you need to do better.
It was very inconsistent, is probably the best way of saying it. And it's a little bit of how we play. We never really got to a point we felt, we could go run the ball. And it was a variety of things. It was one guy here, one guy there, one guy here. And football's a game that takes 11 people. And unfortunately, it was a different guy every time. And we just have to be more consistent in our overall execution.
Did that surprise you? I mean, wasn't that something you assumed
a little
you'd
bit
be able to do
surprised
better?
me. A little bit surprised me. Early first games, you're always nervous about that, your execution. I thought it'd be better, to be honest with you. I don't know.
You weren't getting stuffed, but you were getting 2,
Right,
3, 4
and
yards.
going back, it's a lot of little things, so you kind of, and then we get a penalty here, or we get this here, or, something bad happens, and that kind of limits you too.
The distribution between CJ and EC,
it'll be,
even out over time?
over the season, they're both going to get the ball.
But now you have to contend with a new starter at right tackle. What's your confidence level in Bill Tyndall?
It's high. I mean, he's ready to go. He's a veteran guy. He's been here, and it's his turn. To step up.
How long do you expect MSG to be out?
Me, I'm still hoping he's going to be playing Saturday. So we'll see. I look at injuries, and we take them day by day, and we see how the body feels and what that tells us.
It seems like a smart time to maybe pull him back.
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, Matt doesn't want to miss. It's killing him right now. And if you look at him all practice, he's coaching guys up. He's down at the goal post.
He was looking pretty good walking off.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, so sure, I can be ready.
And you had, because of the injury, you moved Jeff Gibson out to tackle.
We're kind of rotating some guys, and Jeff's been a tackle here before, so it's nothing major. Matt Williams has been there before, and Jeff Gibson. So.
And Tagovailoa was on the other side, but he's now a little bit more in the mix, Jeff said?
Yeah. I mean, he's a young crew is pretty good group. We just got to get him to grow up and kind of
Would you expect him to get some snaps on Saturday?
You see how the game goes.
Yeah.
Would you ideally prefer to redshirt him?
I'd prefer to redshirt him all. I'd rather play with a 22-year-old than an 18-year-old. But then again, we need to get the best guys on the field too.
Talking with the Southern Utah coaches, they said, we're going to do what we do. We're going to play man-to-man. I asked them, if they're going to double Keenan like they tried to do last week. He said, no, he thinks that's risky. So you're going to see a lot of man-to-man this week. How do you exploit that?
Well, in your package, you got a variety of things we always look at man teams to do. They mix it up a little bit. They'll play a lot more man on third downs.
A lot more what?
Man on third downs and down in the red zone. It's what they've shown in the past. In the middle of the field, it's not always man. They'll play a lot of quarters coverage, and they played Utah State. They played a lot of tube coverage with corners trapping. So they'll do some man. I don't think they're going to be scared out of it, but they can change things up pretty good.
It was sort of a quiet debut for Richard Rodgers. What do you have to do to get him more involved in the offense?
Just keep going. We get a couple opportunities. We threw him one ball that was close, and it was coverage, and we had another one we thought we had him, and it just didn't work out that way. He's one of those young guys, and we had a bunch of those guys on the field the first time, and he's just going to grow and get better.
Did you like how Warp played with Hagen banged up?
Yeah, I thought he did a good job. I thought for his first real, he's played some in the past, but for his first real go at it, I thought he was real solid and had a nice catch, and so it was a positive deal.
What sort of improvement do you expect from Harper and Treggs from game 1 to game 2?
Hopefully, everybody on the team, you do your most improvement from game 1 to game 2, and this offense is one I think we're going to keep improving throughout the year. And so, those guys, the neat thing to see was the game wasn't too big for them. They stayed out there and played, and as a freshman they didn't have big eyes, and so that was they're only going to get better.
Last week, the how was the communication, the shuttling in of plays with the no huddle? How did that?
I think it went
work?
pretty smooth. We really didn't have any issues. Obviously, you get into signals and everybody's looking, and for the most part, it was pretty solid.
And they're mostly signals from the sideline.
Yeah.
In terms of fatigue, you think that you guys respond well to the faster pace?
Yeah, well, we've been doing it since
Yeah.
spring and all through fall, and so it's like anything. If you practice it enough, it becomes the way you do it.
But you got to keep the ball, and the game gets pretty fast for your defensive guys back in the field in a hurry, right?
That's the risky part of it. Not risky, but the part that.
Potential downside.
Yeah, and in the same respect, you get going and you limit what the defense can do, hopefully, and you're putting. Remember, now that guy who's calling the defense has less time to call it, and those guys have less time to see the formation and line up and adjust and all those things.
Is Keenan a different player as he continue to expand what he's able to do for you?
I wouldn't say he's different. I think he's working hard, getting better, and keeping improving.
Are there things you feel like you can do with him that you were just sort of experimenting with a year ago, or?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Keenan's such a talented kid. You can do whatever you want. He can do. We got to let him. I mean, he's been working harder in practice this year and doing things, and his game's reflecting it.